Good morning. Just getting myself organized. Clicking the buttons. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. Again. Oh, nearly near the end of April. Where's this year gone? Blink and it's disappeared. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. Again. Can you tell I'm not really organized this morning? As usual, if you're there, please do say a hello in the comments. Good morning, Lani. Good morning, Maria. Yeah, not organized today. Totally not with it. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Luna. Good morning, husband, who I can see over the top of my computer. Good morning, Tess. Apologies, I am full of hay fever this morning, so the voice is a bit croaky. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Janet. Welcome to Friday. Good morning, Nikki. Lots of lovely people. Good morning, Sue. Oh, if I scroll down, I see even more. Look at wonders of technology, which are probably going to fool me today. Good morning, Jay. Welcome, 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 everyone. Yeah, Pete's here opposite me, working hard. With any luck, he might put the kettle on in a minute too. Eric is out sitting, soaking up the sunshine. Since we had the renovation done and the extension with the big French doors, he has his beanbag right by the window so that he can look at the garden and sunbathe. So we don't see him very much in the mornings anymore because he's out there sunbathing. Maria, hives and hay fever. Oh no, big hugs to you, Maria. It's really, really strong. The force is strong today. Good morning, Maharet. Good morning, Jane. Yeah, hay fever is very, very with us today. That time of year. And I'm going to be talking about blossom today just to make the hay fever even worse. It is also Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to everyone. Yeah, it's just a normal day to us lot because we always look after the planet. But apparently some people need reminding to look after it. Good morning, Trudy. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Christine. Oh, Rachel, you made me think I've got my necklace on. Let's get him out. A pixie made necklace back on. Maria bought some antihistamine. I live on antihistamine because I am allergic to quite a lot of things. Yeah, Eric for one. So I live on antihistamine. Good morning, Willa Moon. Welcome to Friday. Hopefully my voice will last. Oh, would I look at? Oh yes, a hot drink now would be lovely. Thank you. What a surprise! I'll have one of my new coffees. Thank you. I have a new coffee. I haven't tried it yet, so it'll be interesting to see what it tastes like. Yes, happy Earth Day to you too, Maria. But as I say, we always look after the earth anyway, don't we? But more people need to. Good morning, Anna from Sweden. Day off work. Fabulous. Enjoy your day off work. Good morning, Helen. Nikki, elderflower tea helps hay fever. Oh, I haven't tried that one. Funnily enough, I'm going to be talking about elderflower today. Synchronicity, eh? Jane, our lilacs out. Can't stop sniffing it. Tried drying some last year, but it doesn't retain the perfume. Now, there's a lot of dried flowers that don't retain the perfume. It's sad, isn't it? You have to add a bit of essential oil to it, which is a bit counterproductive, really. But lilac is beautiful, though. Good morning, Tony. Maria says she'll have tea. Thanks. Yeah, soya milk. We've got soya milk. We've got oat milk and coconut milk as well, just because, because soya milk and tea I don't like, but there you go. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Diamond Deb. Christine, elderflower champagne is nicer. A little bit early, perhaps, for champagne, but Good morning, Nita. It is. Oh, hello. Hello. Apparently the sun's gone in. Eric's in here. Hello. Do you want to come and say hello? You're going to come and say hello? No, he's gone. I think because someone's in the kitchen, he's going to investigate. Yeah, I thought this morning, because I do, and I think, what shall I talk about this week? And sometimes you very lovely people make suggestions. Always happy for suggestions on subjects to talk about. I went into the garden and I thought, oh, what's flowering? Well, the Aquilegias, columbines, they're flowering at the moment, but I've already done a talk about those. It's over on YouTube if you want to have a look. But what really struck me was the little cherry tree that we've got. It's been in full flower, covered in white blossom for the last couple of weeks. So I thought, do you know, it's that time of the year. There's quite a few things that are in blossom. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. The magic of blossom. Sue will have coffee. She wants milk. It's got a big order going now. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Christine. Yeah, I must admit, I don't know how you drink soy milk in tea or coffee. It's a bit weird. Oat milk's nice in coffee, but anyway. Nita, Neil's Yard, elderflower syrup fab for hay fever and sore throats. Elderflower's coming up, isn't it? And quite a lot of things for hay fever. Good morning, Charlie. Fizzy elderflower cordial. I have got some elderflower cordial. Yeah, that's my drink for today. I didn't realise it was to do with hay fever. That's good, though. I've had it for sore throats and things. Excellent, excellent. So, yes, Blossom. Sounds like a little pet name, doesn't it? Good morning, Blossoms. Yeah, I haven't had my coffee, obviously. Tess, cherry blossom is so pretty. They are in bloom everywhere. A lot of them are ornamental cherries. We've got them lining quite a few of the streets around here, and they are so pretty. We've got a little small cherry tree in our garden. It's on dwarf rootstock, so it's never going to grow very high, but it is really pretty. And the cherries, last year it was full of them, absolutely full for the first year. And they were not quite ripe, not quite ripe, not quite ripe, disappeared. They ripened over one night and the birds ate the lot of them before we even got a look in. Literally one day, lots of cherries all over the tree. Next day, lots of stalks. So the birds had them all. There you go. Good morning, Karen. Maria, I have an Astilbe, but there's no flowers on it. No air. We've got a couple in the garden. They will be soon. They will have flowers on soon. Airs haven't yet either. Jane, elderflower is good for anything to do with catarrh. So is elderberry. Yes, I've had elderberry cordial for sore throats and things as well. Lani, Amy's decided to join in the chat. Hi, Amy. Sue sat looking at a cherry tree just coming to flower. It looks wonderful. Don't suppose it'll be long before the neighbour cuts it down. Oh, no, that's just mean. Could I have some milk in it, please? Your milk, not weird milk. Oh, I don't know the stuff. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Leslie Ann. Nikki, we had a really bad hay fever spring in New Zealand. So elderflower tea and syrup, plus horseradish, garlic, vitamin C tablets, saved going on to usual antihistamines. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Horseradish, hot stuff. Nikki just pruned our cherry. It's actually the blossom has just on the end of finishing, really. I didn't cut any and bring it in because if you cut the blossom off, then you don't get any cherries. Thank you. So I left it. So you'll have to imagine the blossom. But blossom, what does blossom mean? Because I think when you think of the word blossom, you think of hay fever. You think of the word blossom. you think of all flowers, but actually blossom is technically the flowers that appear on a tree before the fruit. So that's the type of blossom I'm going to talk about today. Let's get some of these up. Good morning, Kay. I might have to read the whole lot if my voice goes. Rachel, we have a beautiful pink blossom ornamental cherry. They are so pretty, aren't they? Flowers are now falling, still looks beautiful. But the bunny likes to eat. Bunnies do like to eat lots of things, don't they? We had house rabbits way before we had children. They ate curtains, telephone wires, table legs, all sorts of things. Bless them. Tess, have a well-established apple tree in the garden. It blossoms for only a few weeks, but it's gorgeous pink flowers. It is that time of year. Crab apples, I think, are out now as well, which are also very, very pretty. Sue says, has anyone noticed? Yeah, that's just, they are starting to go. Airs have gone. We only had a couple of pots this year of tiny narcissi, Tate ones. They're done and dusted now. But it's time for the tulips to take over. It's the stages, isn't it? It's the cycles of it. Keeping the wood to fashion. A broomstick and staff, fantastic. Love, love, love it. Good morning, Peter. Hay fever hitting hard. Yep. Apple and pear tree blossom, beautiful now down the allotment. But yeah, it does play with the hay fever. Yes, air bunnies ate the skirting boards as well. Okay. Had an arsonist set light to a neighbour's shed which spread to our fence, evergreens and up. Oh no, beautiful apple tree. Had to cut the branches off. Slowly regrowing. Good. Nature is magic. Absolutely magic. Nikki, early cherry trees are first out in New Zealand and feed our native tree. Excellent. Yes. I say ours has been flowering for the last couple of weeks, so it is going over now. But I do work with the blossom. I don't cut it off of the tree because, as I say, if you cut the blossom off, then you're cutting the cherries off or whatever fruit it might be. But they drop the blossom. It looks like it's snowed under the tree. So I do pick up that and use that. You can dry it and use it for all kinds of magical workings. If you work with blossoms, do put in the comments what you use it for so we can share. But the blossom or flowers or the tree or plant, they can be popped in a vase if you want to cut them and put them on an altar. They can be dried, or actually blossom petals work really well as pressed flowers as well. You don't need a fancy flower press. A couple of bits of kitchen paper with the petals in between and a heavy book on top works just as well. But you can use them in all kinds of magical workings. You can dry them and use them in incense blends as well. And you can use them in crafts. If you use them as pressed flowers, you can make bookmarks. You can put them in your book of shadows, all sorts of things. They work really well being pressed onto candles as well. You can drop them in oils to make essential oil blends and perfumes. Really, really useful. Nikki, our bunny ate the stereo cord. Yes, we had telephone wires that airs ate. Janet, beautiful tulips starting to bloom around the neighbourhood. Yes, they are. I did talk about spring flowers and included tulips a couple of weeks back. That talk is on YouTube if you want to catch up that one. How can you stop the discoloration of the petals when you dry flowers? There is something that you can put in with them, and the name of it escapes me at the minute, but I'm sure someone will come up with it. There is something that you can put in with it. It's a mineral of some sort that you put in with it. I'm sure someone will come up with it, and it keeps the colour of the flowers. It'll come to me, or someone will suggest it in a minute. Okay.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. No, pretty sure it's not chocolate. Sue, microwave slow press is so fast. Oh, okay. A microwave flower press. Okay. Not seen one of those. Or that idea. Clever. Very clever. They do sometimes, Tony, don't they? Someone that I did, I discoloured air camellia once by having the chimenea too close to it. Karen, I use apple blossom for self-love and to bring love into the home. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Tess, how do you dry it? I use dried flowers in crafts. I use drying crystals. See, I knew it was a mineral of some sort. Yes, there are particular drying crystals you can get that you put in with the petals, don't you, to help them dry. I must admit, I literally lay mine out on a piece of kitchen towel on a tray. Used to be in the conservatory. Now I put them on the kitchen table. Literally just a tray, kitchen paper, petals. And they dry in no time at all if they're in a dry, sunny area. Maria, I put them on my altar as offerings. Yes, the blossom makes very nice alterings. Put them in room sprays, perfect. Tulips go in my purse or in my pocket. Yep, tulips are good for that, bringing in the money. That's probably the word I was looking for. Nikki used to put them in glycerine before drying them. Yes, that works. Christine, kind of like this time of year when others sound like the same as me with sinusitis. My nose is blocked. Yes, I struggle with all kinds of... I'm allergic to dust as well. I'm a really rubbish witch, actually. I'm allergic to cats and incense as well. So, yeah, I'm totally like that. I'm with you there, Christine. Jane, Helena Rubinstein's Apple Blossom was one of my favourite perfumes as a teenager. I don't know that one. Sounds nice, though. Denise, an old food dehydrated to dry petals. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good idea. So lots and lots of uses. So let's have a look at some of them. I'm going to try my new coffee. Got a new coffee blend this morning. You're going to watch me pull a funny face, aren't you? That's all right. It's not my favourite caramel latte from Roberto's, but it tastes quite nice.
Healthier.
It's healthier. It's healthy coffee, believe it or not.
That was disappointing.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's got extra stuff in it. I can't remember what. It's got superfoods in it.
Marmite.
Not Marmite. Oh, Marmite coffee. Oh, no. Anyway, I will start with cherry because that's the one that's been flowering in my garden. Beautiful, beautiful trees. You can get ornamental ones, obviously, or the ones that fruit. You can get sour cherries just for cooking, or you can get eating cherries. But bear in mind that as soon as they ripen, the birds will eat them. Everyone's liking the size of my cup. It's a very posh cup. It's a Le Creuset one. Pete and I have one each to have our morning coffees. Well, he has tea, but our morning drinks in. They are very nice size, and the coffee machine fills a nice big latte in there as well. Perfect. Okay, I drink those chicory coffee alternatives because I can't drink any caffeinated drinks. I have tried the chicory coffee because my lovely friend Sue drinks those alternative kind of acorn chicory ones. Eek. I'm actually not a big fan of coffee, to be honest, unless it's got lots of milk and caramel syrup in it. But I saw some coffees that had superfoods added to them, and they're supposed to be all kinds of good for you. So that's what I'm trying today. And actually, it's not bad. We'll see. We'll see. Does Roberto's delivered to Somerset? Probably not, Sue, because they're just around the corner from me. They do fantastic sandwiches too. But there you go. It's a what cup? It's a posh one, Le Creuset. I can't afford anything other than the coffee cups. It's a ceramic one, Jane, a ceramic cup. Gosh, if it was cast iron like their casserole dishes, I'd never lift it, would I? Nani Beanie's coffee is also good and healthy. I have tried them, not a big fan, but they do lots of different flavours, don't they? I'm not a big fan of coffee, so, you know. There you go. Let's get some of these up. Trudy. Suffer with sinuses too. All hay fever season feel blocked up. Use rapeseed in cooking. I do too. Seem to build up an immunity and not feeling as bad. Oh, yes, because fields of rapeseed are really bad for hay fever, aren't they? I actually switched to rapeseed oil a couple of years ago. actually at the beginning of the first lockdown, because I couldn't get hold of normal supplies from some places. I found a little company in the UK that makes their own rapeseed oil. So I bought a big tin of it, and I've used rapeseed oil ever since. I like it because it is grown and produced in the UK. So there's no big travel eco-damaging consequences to it, sourced locally. Can I zoom in on the cup? Famous cup. There we go. Da, 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 da. It's got a name on that side. Look, Le Creuset. That's not bad coffee. It's not bad coffee at all. Nikki says dandelion chicory chai is not bad. Now I do love a chai latte, but you take a bit of convincing on the dandelion chicory stuff. But there you go. Sue has a Le Creuset frying pan. You need a forklift to put on the cookie. They are so heavy. Sue can't stand the smell of rapeseed field. Smells like old socks. Yeah, rapeseed is really, really strong. Beautiful to look at though. Big fields of bright yellow. Lovely. The Creuset's so expensive. Didn't know they did mugs. They are. It is the only part of their range I can afford. It's the mug. But there you go. Anyway, look, 20 minutes in and I haven't talked about any flowers, so let's go with the cherries. A deciduous tree, obviously. Blossom in the spring, followed by cherries. The cherry is quite a feminine one to me, seems feminine to me. The stone held inside the womb of the fruit. So it makes sense to me that it's got feminine energies to it. So it is a really good fruit for love magic, but also fertility. And of course, the petals and the leaves and the twigs from the tree all carry the same energy as the fruit. What I tend to do with the cherry tree, I do save the blossom to use to put on candles and in various other bits and pieces. But I save the cherry stones when there's any that the birds haven't eaten. I save the stones of the cherries because that carries the same magic as well. And you'd normally just throw them away. That way you can eat the fruit and still work magic with the stone of it. It's a bit go slow today. I'm a bit under par today, so you have to bear with me. Love incense blends work really well with the dried blossom of the cherry flowers or the stones or even the stalks that the birds leave behind. They still any part of the tree will carry that energy with it. And of course, the stones, cherry stones, long been used for divination purposes. Anyone else remember the Tinker Tailor Soldier Sailor rhyme with cherry stones to see who you're going to marry? Don't recall any of my stones ever saying drummer.
Hey.
Tinker Tailor Soldier drummer. But we used to say that as a kid all the time when we had cherry stones and things like that. So cherry stones actually do make quite good divination tools. You can make a divination set with them, which is quite fascinating to work with. And of course, cherry juice, good substitute for blood in rituals or workings. But I do like to use the cherry blossom or the stones in magical workings for new beginnings as well, because it's a spring flowering plant. It's got that fresh new beginnings, that new ventures kind of energy to it, drawing on the spring energy. That's what I use them for. Le crazy. Yeah, Christine, thank you for sharing. Dandelion and chicory makes me know my toilet very well. Too much information. Maria, they do pots as well. They Le Creuset. Le Creuset, if you're watching, I'll have some freebies, thanks. Because I like cooking. They do. Nikki, Dad bought Le Creuset pots home as hand luggage from the UK. Yeah, I bet it did tip the plane over really heavy. Janet, I saved cherry seeds, had no idea why. There you go. There you go. You can make your own divination set. Jane, rich man, poor man, percussionist, thief. Excellent. Good morning, Louise.
I can hear you all.
Oh, there you go. Okay, when people send me parcels with eco-friendly packing, I keep that for kindling for my fire pit. Sometimes they have dried lavender or rose petals in as well. Yes, very nice, very nice. Nikki, fantastic kids book by Margaret May called The Witch in the Cherry Tree. Oh, fantastic. I don't know that one. Leslie Ann, I used to have one of those heat in the microwave bags that was filled with cherry stones. What? I've never heard of that. I have yes. What a good idea. Brilliant idea. Christine, live around the corner from Hearts of Stir. They're expensive, yeah. I think you do get what you pay for, though, don't you, a lot of the time? I have got a couple of the cast iron casserole dishes that look like Le Creuset, but actually came from Sainsbury's because they were a lot cheaper. But they last. They do last a long time, so you do get what you pay for. This coffee is growing on me. It's actually quite nice. It tastes a little bit chocolatey. Anyway, so cherries. Love, fertility, divination, and beginnings. All of those things, or any of those things. It's ruled by the planet Venus, unsurprisingly. It is the element of water and air, and the gender is feminine. So cherry blossom, because that's what we're talking about today, and cherry stones, all really good for love and new beginnings and fertility and all of those lovely things. Christine, the amount of pans I burn, they wouldn't last 2 minutes for me. They're quite easy to clean, though. Sue, I have a heat in the microwave wheat bag, but never heard of cherry stones. No, I hadn't either, Sue. It's a good idea. They're all disappearing. All disappearing. All I have is red skin on my face and spots at the moment. Don't menopause, love. Mine is like that quite a lot at the moment. You can't tell. I've got lots of makeup on top of it, but mine is like that at the moment. But you might find antihistamine helps that as well. Mine, it does tend to help me as well. Okay, Emma Bridgewater mug, set aside some of the cost for charities. That's a nice idea. Very nice idea. Good morning, Tony. Right, I will get there today. I'm drinking the coffee to give me a bit of zing. So the other blossom that probably everyone recognizes is apple blossom or crab apple. All part of the Pyrus family, but obviously crab apples quite different from apples. You can't eat them raw because they're very, very, and will probably give you a poorly tummy. But they make a nice jam. But they've got the same magical properties. And the apple is such a magical fruit, and it has been throughout history. Cut an apple in half, obviously, across the center, and you'll reveal the pentagram, 5-pointed star. Apple is a lovely wood to use for wand making. I was gifted a very, very nice apple wood wand, which is beautiful. It's got such a lovely energy to it. It is a favorite tree of witches, with the link to the autumn equinox and to Samhain, to the Isle of Avalon. Excellent to use in any love spell workings or recipes, and also for healing. Eating an apple is said to open a portal into the other realms and allow us to gain clarity and knowledge. And apples are also a symbol of abundance. I mentioned Avalon. Apples are often connected with the mysteries of Avalon, so they work well with any incense blends or spell workings to help you connect with the Isle of Avalon, with the other world, with any Avalonian deities. Apples are also considered food of the dead, so they're excellent to work with in any spirit work. And of course, eating an apple pie, dedicate it to Avalon or dedicate it to your ancestors. Any excuse to eat apple pie, really. Pick an apple and carve the initials of the one you desire and your own initials into the fruit. Bury the apple in the ground, and you've set a love spell in motion. Peel an apple in one long continuous piece then drop the peel. Reminds me of the generation game for any of you that are the same age as me. The letter that it forms is the initial of your true love's name. So very, very magical, the apple, but obviously you can work with the apple blossom to work with those same magical energies. So it is love, healing, clarity, knowledge, abundance, and spirit work. Really, really magical. And apple blossom is so pretty as well. Really, really useful to work with. It's ruled by Venus again. So you've got that love connection, element of water, unsurprisingly, element of water and gender feminine. So very, very similar kind of energies between the cherry and the apple from a magical properties point of view. Oh, I've missed some. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Crab, apple, and mint jelly. Yummy. Tony, I have loads of pink flowering blossom. It's that time of the year. That's why we're talking about blossom today. Going to try it for incense. Yes, definitely. Dried blossom doesn't carry an awful lot of scent. You may want to add a few drops of essential oil if you're making an incense blend. Louise, we used apple in fertility spells with great results. It is absolutely brilliant for fertility. And of course, you don't need to use the actual apple. You can use the apple blossom. You can use apple leaves from the tree, twigs from the tree, apple seeds. You can dry slices of apple to use in magical workings. Dried apple works quite well in incense blends, but you can save the apple seeds from your apple and use that as well. Apple crumble, yeah. For breakfast, excellent. Maria, don't know about BB cream, think I need ZZ cream. Maybe a cream with some sort of blossom. We'll research. Yeah, definitely. I think it's allergies. Mine's definitely started with the menopause, Maria, and I think it's allergies. Cider, Leslie Ann, good call. Apple cider, very nice. Okay, when I watch Charmed, they cut an apple in half as the seed placement is like a pentagram. Yeah, you cut it in half and you get that pentagram, that star inside. It's perfect for absolutely perfect for it. Definitely. Christine, carve a face in an apple, then let it dry out. Makes awesome, scary faces. They do, don't they? Sorry, hey Phoebe, I'm gonna have to be. Bear with me. Excuse me, sniffing. Yes, I've seen the dried apple faces. They look brilliant, don't they? Jane, it's because of a silly woman being tempted by an apple. We now have to wear clothes. Apparently, it wasn't actually an apple. Historians reckon it was more likely to be something like a peach. It wouldn't have been an apple at all. But the thought's there. Tess, peeling of the apple to guess love names was used in an episode of Charmed. How much have we learnt from Charmed, eh? They used the apple for knowledge and reverence by cutting in half with a laurel leaf as a protection spell. Yeah, because it works. It works. They obviously had someone on set that knew what they were talking about. Jane, beware of eating apple pips. I think they contain cyanide. You'd probably have to eat quite a lot of them. But did anyone else think when they were little, if you ate the apple pips, that an apple tree would grow in your tummy? Or is that just me?
Just you.
Nikki, apple cider vinegar. It is. That's really good stuff, isn't it? Very, very good stuff. Also very good in vegan baking. Just saying. Rose quartz, polished and smooth, great for skin conditions. Yes, you can get those little rollers, can't you, for your face for that. Christine, collect apple seeds to use in divination as you would tea leaves. Yes, absolutely brilliant for it. Absolutely brilliant for it. So apple and cherry, both really, really good for love and magic of all types, really. They've both got fertility type healing connections as well. Very, very useful. Good morning, Raven Morph. So on to the next one. I'm trying to be conscious to actually get through some interesting content rather than just me waffling about coffee. The Black Thorn is beginning to flower, or depending on where you are in the country or the world. The Black Thorn is coming into blossom, or the sloe, if you want to call it that by the fruit name. A common spreading tree in hedgerows and woodlands. The fruit is the sloe, which makes a very nice sloe gin. Kept me warm on many a young farmer outing, I can tell you. Sloes are picked throughout the autumn, but for the magical use, you can use the leaves, the twigs. The thorns are particularly useful for magic, but be careful because they are sharp. And of course, the pretty white blossom that we have in spring is brilliant to work magic with. It's also a useful wood to make divining rods from. If you haven't tried that, do give it a try. It is great fun. You can use blackthorn in protection and exorcism spells as well. Spell pouches, incense blends, witch bottles. The thorns in particular are really good for protection and for exorcism and unhexing spells. Now, folklore says that the blackthorn was a tree of bad magic. Ooh. And the wood was used by evil black magicians. Oh, well, that counts me in then. I wonder actually if it was because the thorns were so spiky that people just didn't like it. Who knows where the folklore comes from, but it was seen as evil, apparently. It's not. It's actually really good for protection and for anti-evil, if you like. It's really good for unhexing and things like that. The wood itself is really good for healing. It's got the power to cleanse and bring that positive energy back in. I think it's a really, really magical plant. Blackthorn branches, if you ever find one or gifted one, make excellent walking sticks or staffs. They just have that perfect kind of energy for it. And if you used sloes, and don't use them for making your sloe gin, if you crush them to release the juice, strain it, all the icky bits out, and you've got quite a pretty red ink that you can use to write magical petitions with. And if you use that sloe ink with your blackthorn thorns, you can dip the thorn in ink and write your petition with it, and you've got a double kind of whammy of energy there. Easy to make, easy to do, but really useful. So blackthorn brings protection, exorcism, divination with the divining rods, and it's also really good for healing. And again, any type of part of the plant, and at the moment use the blossom because it's in flower at the minute. Ruled by Saturn and Mars, it's my sign. It's a Scorpio, unsurprisingly. It's the element of fire. But this one's actually got a masculine gender to it, a masculine energy to it. It is a fascinating plant, and I think perhaps one of the most magical ones. I think so anyway. Let's get some of these up. Oh, cider vinegar is much cheaper in Aldi's. 500ml for $1.99 instead of paying $9.99 for a litre in a certain health shop. Yeah, Aldi's and Lidl's are very good for things like that, aren't they? Charlie, I remember really thinking, will I grow an apple tree inside me after eating a pip? Yes, I can remember thinking that when I was little too. Hi, Jenny. Eris, golden apple of discord, if you want to kick up a stink at a wedding. Just in case anyone wants to. Anna, the Norse gods were kept from aging by eating apples. The goddess Idun bought them. There you go. Good reason to eat apples. Christine, blackthorn flowers have gone over here. The old gardeners in Dorset told me that winter isn't over until the blackthorn flowers are gone. Old saying, sometimes true. Absolutely. I mean, I'm dealing with blossom as a general here, generally over the spring. It will depend on where you are in the country as well. Some are early spring, some are later spring. But you can still work with the leaves and the twigs and the thorns and eventually the sloes when they come as well. The whole plant has magic. But yes, the old sayings really are, aren't they? They've all got some truth to them. I actually think it's a shame that we've lost quite a lot of that folklore weather plant kind of connection. The old timers wouldn't they? They would know whether winter was going to be harsh because of the way the birds were flying, or just by watching, like that one, when the black thorn flowers are finished. They could tell so much. They could predict so much about the weather just by watching the land. And I think we've lost quite a lot of that. Okay, all sorts of crystals for Kwai Sha. You're just making me say funny words. Shape slices, facial massage, helps detoxify, so great for skin issues and anti-aging. Good stuff. Tony, I will have to get some blackthorn, just have got a lot of hawthorn. I'm going to come on to hawthorn next, Tony. Perfect. Whatever the word is today, because I'm really struggling with it all. Yeah, perfect timing, that'll do. Good morning, Emma. Sue has a blackthorn staff. I'm a little bit jealous, Sue. I bet it's fantastic. Is blackthorn also called boxthorn, or am I mixing them up? I don't know. Let's have a look. Blackthorn. Let's have a look. Boxthorn. I don't know boxthorn. No, I don't think it is. Looking at this, they are different things. Different plants by the looks of it. That will need some more research, but I think they're different plants, Nikki. Raven Wolf, can you make ones from... Oh, one from blackthorn would be brilliant. That would be really good for healing. Make a fantastic healing wand. Or protection as well. Yes, definitely Raven Wolf. Jane, my nan told us if you swallow chewing gum, it winds itself around your heart. Okay. Digestive system. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. They did tell us funny things, didn't they? It's to stop you eating it. Okay, I have a pink blossom hawthorn tree out opposite my home. As I drove out my drive with the windows open, all the blossom blew into the car. Yes, the blossom does get everywhere. It does get everywhere. Maria, imagine them to make a great besom. Yes, a blackthorn besom would be perfect because it would work really well for protection. Yeah, very good. Denise, up on the moors we say that if the sheep come off in October as fat, we're in for a hard winter. But all of this was based in fact. All of these old folk sayings were based in fact. Leslie, that would be an interesting course, learning all the old ways of reading the seasons. Absolutely. I think we should work a lot more with the old folklores and the old ways. Someone should write a book. Oh, hang on. I have a new book coming out in November with Llewellyn called A Witch for Every Season, which is based on a whole load of old folklore and old festivals, old celebrations, and how to work with them in modern ways. There you go. I love it when you guys give me an opportunity to pimp myself. Christine, I have a cockspur hawthorn in my garden, about to come into flower, and it's buzzing with bees. Yeah, brilliant. Scent is beautiful, and even it's magical. Karen uses blackthorn for transition. Perfect. It has got that kind of mystical changing, shape-shifting almost, hasn't it? Energy to it. Perfect. Jane, if the birds build their nests high up, we're in for a good summer. If not, they're expecting a lot of rain. They know more than we do. They know more than we do about stuff. They are far more tuned into the planet than we are, which, funny enough, is World Earth Day today, isn't it? So, yeah, let's keep tuned into the planet. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that already, but, you know. Can you tell I'm not with it today? I need more of this coffee to wake me up, I think. So hawthorn, very, very magical plant as well. Often found in hedgerows. It grows anywhere, basically. It doesn't mind poor soil or all sorts of things. White flowers in the spring. dark red berries in the autumn, and another one with spiky thorns. It is associated with easing heart complaints. So I think it actually ties in really well with love spells, another one for love spells, and spells to make your heart sing with happiness. Hawthorne's also a tree of the fairy world. It forms the fairy triad with the oak and the ash. Hawthorne offers a gateway to the world of fairy. Just be careful with it. The white flowers that are followed by the red berries, both associated with fertility again. And of course, with May Day coming up, May Day circlets are often made with hawthorn, which adds more to the fertility of it, with May Day and Beltane being all about fertility. So it carries quite a heavy fertility vibe with it. And, you know, fertility isn't just about having little babies, because seriously don't need any more of those. But fertility is also about, someone knocked the door. Fertility is also about new ideas, new projects, birthing new ventures. So fertility covers a huge umbrella of stuff, not just little babies or little dachshunds. You can dry the hawthorn berries and thread them onto cotton. They can be hung above your threshold, or you can sprinkle the berries around the boundary for your protection. They bring quite a nice protection to your home. You can make little berry wreaths and things, just protection charms to hang around from the berries. Hawthorn berries can also be added to your floor wash. It helps purify and cleanse negative energies from the house. You can also add hawthorn to your workings where you need forgiveness, or you need someone else to give forgiveness. So hawthorn can be used in workings for protection, for hope, really good against warding against evil. It was another tree that used to be used to protect against evil witches. Duh. Although apparently witches would shapeshift into hawthorn trees to rest before they flew on through the night. So next time you see a resting hawthorn tree, it might be a witch. But it is another one that's really magical. You can actually make a tea with the leaves. If you add some dried hawthorn leaves to your usual black tea, it brings love, happiness, positive energy. Please make sure you've identified the hawthorn leaves correctly before you go eating them, putting them in your tea. So hawthorn is a really good magical tree. Happiness, fertility, love, protection, purification, forgiveness, fairy world, and also hope. So it covers quite a lot of stuff. Ruled by the planet Mars, and another one ruled by the planet of Venus. It is the sign of Sagittarius. It's the element of fire, and it's got a real masculine energy to it as well. So very, very good one. Thank you, Janet. Angela, do you not already have a book out with that title? No, it's a new one. It's out in November. New one out in November. It's been up on my website for a while, but it's not published till November. It's A Witch for Every Season. Jane, our hedgerows around here are full of hawthorn. Pollen is like breathing in custard powder. I've never heard it described like that, but actually, yes, I'm with you on that one. Does me up like a kipper. Yeah, absolutely. Maria, Element of Fire book is published in June.
24th.
June 24th. I will be doing a competition to win a copy of that on Facebook, so keep an eye out for that. Actually, make a note for myself to get that organised. And I will be doing the actual book launch at my talk for MoonCon 22, first weekend in July. Thank you, Maria. Nikki, hawthorn is used to protect against heart disease and help control high cholesterol and high blood pressure. It is a magical thing. Slight disclaimer, please don't take any herbal remedies without consulting a professional first. Karen, hawthorn is my favorite. I have them at the front and back of the house. Work with it for mental clarity and to celebrate Beltane for self-esteem and bringing about calm. It's a real Beltane one, isn't it? It's really strongly associated with it. Tony, would you say fertility can be anything? Yeah, absolutely. All of these things are how you perceive them to be. Christine, when the petals drop on my hawthorn, it's like being snowing. Yes, or being to a wedding. It is blossom, isn't it? Blossom is lovely. That part of the magic, isn't it? You're welcome, Angela. Thank you, Tony. Ravenwolf, will your new books be out on Audible? I have 4 books out as audiobooks at the moment. I don't know with Llewellyn. They decide what books are going to be processed as audiobooks. With my other Moon Books ones, it's me that has to foot the cost to get them recorded. So I'm gradually working my way round or through them. I have a very lovely friend Thea that records them for me. So getting there, Ravenwolf. But the Llewellyn ones are down to Llewellyn to do. So I don't know about those. Jane, fertility can be ideas growing onto enterprise and that sort of thing. Absolutely. Christine, the song Here We Go Gathering Nuts in May, I'm not going to sing it for you, is apparently to be gathering the buds and using them in circlets for May Day. It makes sense, doesn't it? It really does. It's got a real connection to May Day and to Beltane. And I think with the flowering seasons, the hawthorn always flowered at that time, but bear in mind the calendar has been moved about a bit, and with global warming and all the changing in seasons, sometimes it doesn't quite line up, and of course depending on where you are in the country, in the world, will depend on when it flowers as well. So the next one I'm looking at is elder or elderflower. We've talked about elderflower cordial before. Jane, fertile imagination is great for visualizing. Absolutely. Can I still get paperback copy? All of them, Janet, all of them are available from all the usual places. If you go to my website, it's at the top there, there's a whole list of all the books and there are links to all of the suppliers. But all of my books are easily available from all the usual places, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Waterstones, any of the places, mostly online, or check out your local occult bookstore or shop, because quite a lot of those stock them too. But yes, all of them easily available. Karen, hawthorn blossom reminds me of Blothuweth. I think it's got an extra D in it. The Welsh flower-faced goddess. It is a Welsh word, so it is pronounced something like Blothuweth, but spelled Blodgewed. It's very strange. Leslie Ann, I'm sure I was told the song used to be knots, i.e. posies in May. I think there's, with folk songs, isn't it, that it's over time the words get changed, or different regions, different counties have slightly different sayings for it. But it all makes sense, doesn't it? It is posies, it's flowers in May, absolutely. Nikki's having spring envy. It's because Nikki's on the other side of the world. But elderflower, let's have a look at that, because I've got a few here, and because it's me, we're already 50 minutes in and we've waffled. Not, I love waffling with you guys. Elder, you're all familiar with it, aren't you? Elderflower, elderberries. It's been described in the past as a whole medicine chest in one tree. Elder is an excellent ingredient to use in healing spell work. The stem was said to have been used by Prometheus to bring fire to man from the gods. Another tree for the fairy world. Apparently on Midsummer Night, if you sit and watch the elder tree, you may see the fairy king ride past. No guarantees, but it's worth a try. If an elder self-sees in your garden, it is said that Mother Earth has chosen to protect your house. Don't cut the elder down without asking permission from Mother Earth first. Preferably, of course, don't cut any trees down, but sometimes it has to happen. But elder does bring quite a big punch of protection with it. There is a bit of a dilemma with elder over the years. It has been a tree of life, but also a tree of the devil. It was needed, I know we don't work with the devil, but bear with me. It was needed for its medicinal properties, but it was also feared to be a witch's plant. Sometimes you just can't win. This was another tree that witches were said to be able to turn themselves into. Haven't tried it yet myself, but you never know. So I think there was a bit of a dilemma that it was a witch's tree, and therefore people associated witches with the devil. Lack of knowledge, people, lack of knowledge. But they also appreciated that the elder was very, very good for healing. So they had a bit of a dilemma with that one. It is a tree of death, rebirth, and reincarnation. You can use the bark, the root, leaves, and the berries for making dyes. You can use in any kind of healing spell work, whether it's for physical, emotional, doesn't matter. It's really good for all of it. You can also use it to break spells that were cast against you. And elder wands are good to drive out evil spirits and negative energy. Drinking elderberry juice can help you increase your intuition. Elderberry tea in your bath water is good for healing spiritual and emotional issues. And elder stems added to incense blends or elder flowers brings purification and protection to your home. Again, with elderflower, if you pick the flowers to use the blossom, you aren't going to get the berries. It's, you know that. It makes sense. But you can use elderflower in making elderflower cordial. You can use it in healing tea blends as well. It's very good for sore throats and healing generally. You can also make a skin tonic, elderflower water, using elderflowers and boiling water. There is a recipe in my plants and herbs book. So elder is really good for lots of things: protection, healing, fairy world, purification, intuition, exorcism, hex breaking, and rebirth. It's another Venus planet one. It's signs Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Libra. It is an water element, and it is a feminine gender one as well. Really, really good all-rounder one, that one. Very good for all sorts of things. Jane, going back to way back when, the word blow was used to mean blossom as a verb. That makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you think of all the little tiny petals with the blossom, that blow, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, don't burn elderwood because the old gal don't like it. Yeah, it's these folk things make so much sense. They really do. Nita makes wands from elder. Please don't. Yeah, don't eat the raw berries, people. Cook them. Do your research. Make sure you've identified the correct berry, the correct flower, the correct plant, and then do some research, whatever it is, because some of them are toxic in the raw form. Some of them are toxic to touch. Some, depending on what plant it is. Do your research first, because, it's just sensible. And safer. Practical point of view, does anyone prune their elderberry trees? I've not had one, so I don't know. I'll have to look that one up for you, Nikki, unless anyone on here prunes their elderberry trees and can let Nikki know. Karen, elder to me is the goddess tree. Yeah, I'd go with that. Triple goddess, but especially the crone and elder mother, I'd go with that too, who is said to guard the door to the other world. Mine has self-seeded. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yep, I would wholeheartedly agree with all of that, Karen. That's perfect. Trudy, elderflower gin. Oh, one of my top 5. Get ready for Beltane. Yep, I'm coming round to your place. Oh, no, Jane, elderberry port. Now, that sounds nice too. Nikki, these stalks of elderberry are poisonous, aren't they? I think, again, use the berries, but cook them. You don't want the stalks in them anyway. because, ick. Just be careful with it. Just do your research and be careful with it. Ravenwolf. Elderberry wine. Very, very nice. My dad used to make that. Angela, we have a naturally self-seeded elder in our garden near our kitchen. Currently sourcing Black Thorn, Hawthorne and hazel, plus others to plant a hedge around the garden. That sounds wonderful. That sounds absolutely perfect. Elderflower, although I've worked with the flowers before, I've not grown one before, so that's why I don't know about the pruning and stuff. Look at it, check it, look it up. I can only talk about things that I've actually worked with generally from that point of view. Honestly, I don't know everything. We're all still learning. Jane, I only pick the flowers I can reach from my elder tree. Then I only pick the berries I can reach. They're heavy and the rest is for the birds. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Pretty fair deal. Tony, would you say to get their true identity is to grow your own in the garden if you have the opportunity? This is why there are some plants that I'm really, really familiar with because I've grown them. I haven't grown elderflower before, so I know about the properties. I know about the magical dealings with it. I'm not familiar with pruning and growing tips because I've not grown it before. So yes, everything that you do, you gain from experience. Angela, we were always told you should never burn elder inside as the smoke is slightly toxic. And yes, definitely prune the elder tree in the late autumn after the berries. There you go. Pruning tips. Thank you very much. Silly question. There are never any silly questions, Tess. Only questions. Is elderberry and elderflower from the same tree? Yes, absolutely. You get the elderflowers first, which are the pretty white sprays, umbrals they're called, aren't they, of flowers. And then after that, you get the elderberries. So yes, absolutely. But both the flowers and the berries can be used for making wines and cordials and things. Karen, I love trees. They're my favorite thing to work with. And I make tree essences. Nice. Very, very nice. I will be absolutely honest. I'm more familiar with plants and flowers than I am with trees, mainly because my garden isn't really big enough for trees. We have a small rowan and we have the small cherry tree on dwarf stock. So I am more familiar from a gardening point of view with actual plants. But I mean, we need trees, don't we? They are very important. Jane, we had our elder tree very hard pruned, lollipopped in late winter because it was getting huge and blocking the windows. It looked awful, but now it's sprouting new branches and coming back with a vengeance. Sometimes it does them good, doesn't it? Sometimes it really does them good. Nikki, my chickens do a hilarious dance trying to get to the berries. Think bouncing chickens, hence no berries, the chicken jumping high. I do love chooks. They are hysterical. They're absolutely fun. Brilliant. Christine, hold the stalks and run them with the tines of a fork. I can remember my dad doing that. Saves a lot of fuss picking the tiny berries off for cooking. My dad used to sit there with a bucket of elderberries and do that with the fork to pull the berries off. He used to do it with red currants and black currants too, but a very good tip. And quickly, because, you know, we're over an hour already. Willow is the other one that is flowering. Goat's willow and pussy willow at this time of the year. Pussy willow sounds like a James Bond girl. Oh no, it's Pussy Galore, isn't it? Oh, but willows,
You're
love.
pretty.
I know. I'm really struggling today. I apologise for making no sense whatsoever. Willows, I love willow trees. They are so graceful. The wood for the willow tree is incredibly versatile. You can make baskets, clogs, cricket bats, charcoal. It was even used at one time to make gunpowder, apparently. It always seems to me a really emotional tree. I think because it is so connected with the element of water and because it's ruled by the moon, for me, it's got such a gentle emotional energy to it. You can use the young, flexible branches of the willow trees to plait together to make witch ladders. You can make small besoms for cleansing, sweeping ritual areas. You can use the bendy branches for knot magic as well. Literally stand under the moon, state your intent, tie a knot in the willow branch, and then you're sealing your intent. You can write your wish on a piece of willow bark, then burn it or bury it to manifest your desire. Carry willow with you or burn as incense blends to bring about inspiration. It also helps enhance your intuition as well. To bring love to you, sleep with a small piece of willow under your bed. I suggest a small piece rather than a large branch. You can mix it with sandalwood in incense blends to use during a waning moon. It's really, really good for releasing and letting go. Don't eat willow if you're allergic to aspirin or whilst you're breastfeeding. Probably best not to eat it anyway, but just be careful. Again, be careful. It is good. Love, protection, healing, cleansing, wishes, releasing, inspiration, intuition, all of those fabulous emotion, or not so fabulous on occasion, emotion kind of issues. Willow is really good for. Ruled by the moon, sign of Pisces, element of water and feminine. So it's got that whole emotional, squishy energy to it. And of course, pussy willows are, because they look like little pussycats. Definitely need more coffee. Jane, we are lucky. Our elder tree is very sweet and fragrant, but some elders smell like catweed. Yes, so some of them do have quite a pungent scent. Jane, I use an afro comb to comb the berries off the stalks. Oh, afro combs, I remember them. But yes, very good idea. Christine, I make a medicine from elderberries. Boil the berries for 20 minutes until they're softened and add some spices and brandy. Brilliant medicine for chest infections. It sounds lovely anyway with spices and brandy in it. Just having my daily medicine. Sounds perfect. Kerry, my Auntie Margaret was from Austria. When she was a child, they used to pick the elderflowers and make fritters with them. I have had elderflower fritters. They are delicious. Good morning, Carol. Nikki, just pruned my willows first time and made wreaths from the cuttings. Perfect. Tony, what are your witch ladders? Have a look on my YouTube channel, Tony. There is a video there for making witch ladders. So have a look. Karen, I made a hair out of willow. Oh, fabulous. After years it's fallen apart. You need to make another one of those, Karen, definitely. Christine, my daughter weaves willow to make ornamental statues and figures. I've seen them in garden centres and things. They are beautiful, aren't they? Jane, seriously, who would eat something that cricket bats are made from? Well, it's got the aspirin connection, hasn't it? It is very good for using as isn't that where aspirin came from? The idea of aspirin came from. So yeah, people did eat it at some point. No, I wouldn't. I get your point. Carol, I have a beautiful willow tree. I have made wreaths and wands with it. Doing 9 knot spells, I tie my ribbon on the willow. One did come from willow, came up with a snake head. Perfect. Tess, one of my clients used a willow teething necklace for the girls. They were 6 months. The wood would turn colour as it drew out the toxins. It worked. It sounds an interesting idea. Again, do double check for allergies and medications and, before you go giving things like that to children and whatever. I've got 2 more here. I'm very well aware I've gone way over time. So let's run through them quickly. I've got hazel as well. Hazel wands are excellent for all uses, especially for healing. To bring in the magic of the fae, hang hazelnuts up in your home. Use hazel in workings for knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration. Wear a crown from hazel twigs to make your wishes a reality. Wrap hazel catkins in red or pink paper or twine. Light from a pink or red candle, then drop in a cauldron. Visualize your true love coming to you as you do so. Hazel is very good for prosperity and wisdom as well, and it also makes good dowsing rods. So hazel is fertility, wishes, love, protection, luck, wisdom, divination, healing, inspiration, and prosperity, ruled by the sun, element of air, and a masculine one. So I apologize for whizzing through hazel. The other one is rowan. Now my rowan hasn't come into flower yet, but it's got lots of buds on it in the garden. So it'll be flowering fairly soon. Druids would plant rowan trees near their stone circles for protections against negative energies, apparently. Rowan twigs were carried to ward against sorcery and evil and placed around milk churns to protect against theft. It has a very strong protective energy, but also one of empowerment. It can help you connect with your inner being, the universe, and the whole web of life all around us. Bring rowan twigs and berries into your home for protection. They're also good for success, love, and they help give you a stronger spiritual connection as well. Again, another one for good dowsing rods and also healing wands. Another fairy tree as well. Rowan is really good for increasing your psychic powers. It brings personal power. It helps with success. Another good protection one. Love, spirituality, fairy tree, good for divination, healing again, and also inspiration. Ruled by the sun and Mercury. It's another fire one, and it's a masculine one. So rowan is really good too. So all of the ones we've talked about today are in blossom now, have been for a few weeks, or will be in the next few weeks. So work with that blossom in all sorts of ways to bring those magical elements in. All of this information is in my Magical Plants and Herbs books, but I will put some of the details up on the blog as well. Oh, that's interesting, Nikki. Thank you. You can make growth hormone for cuttings from willow water. Very interesting. Yeah, there. See, I knew there was a connection. Salic acid, basis of aspirin, comes from the white willow bark. There you go. Knew that. Knew there was a connection, and that I'm not completely nuts.
Lunchtime, by the way.
It is nearly lunchtime now. Lizzie sneaked in under the wire. Yeah, I'm a bit under par today, Lizzie. I'll get there, which is probably why most of this talk hasn't made any sense whatsoever today. Jane, electrodes placed around milk churns can deter thieves. Good tip. Lani loves rowan. It is beautiful. Yeah, we have got a really nice rowan tree in our garden. It actually has yellow berries are rowan. Trudy, rowan mountain ash, name of my town. Mountain ash. Rowan's planted all over by council. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, I do need to have a hot elderflower cordial. So lots of things to work with there today, all in blossom around this time of the year. Work with the blossom, work with the leaves, work with the twigs, and then later on you've got the berries as well, of course. So lots and lots of blossom magic to work with in all different ways. If you do make anything from any of the blossoms, we'd love to see your pictures or your methods on the Kitchen Witch Coven Facebook page. We'd love to see the photos and love to hear all about it. Share. It's the way we learn. It is the way we learn. Thank you all. If you've got any subjects you'd like me to talk about in the future, just give me a shout. Always happy to do so. And otherwise, have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you all next weekend, or next week, or next Friday, or somewhen, or anywhen. I'm going to go and have a lie down in a dark room. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining with me and also sticking with me through all of the waffle today. Take care, everybody.